about you, but I always like a little sneak peek behind the scenes of other entrepreneurs' businesses. I find small business owners that I admire, and often I'm wondering, how do they make it work? How are they so successful? What are their secrets? Which is why I thought I'd give you a little sneak peek into my own business. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Mariah, the owner and creative director of Mariah Riona Branding, helping creative female entrepreneurs build brands with confidence and success. If that's something you're interested in, then be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and click the bell icon to make sure you're the first to be notified when I upload new videos. Today, I'm sharing the best things I did for my small business in 2019. So let's dive in. First, invested in a coach. It can be scary and overwhelming as an entrepreneur, especially because you can feel like you're all alone. Even though I'm the boss of my small business, I often found myself craving guidance, which is why I decided to invest in a business coach. No, it's not cheap, but it has definitely been worth it. Since starting my coaching program, I have seen my business grow, and I've seen my profits grow, and I've seen myself grow as an entrepreneur. Number 2, invested in education. Along the same lines as investing in a coach, I also invested in my education in 2019. I spent thousands of dollars on courses, workshops, classes, and more over the last year. And it really paid off. Again, because of these investments I'm making in myself, I'm seeing huge growth in my business. I made more money last year than I've ever made and had some of my biggest client projects to date, including multiple 5-figure contracts. I think it's so important to constantly be learning, growing, and bettering yourself, not only as a business owner, but also as an artist, as a creative, and just as a human being in general, which is why I continue to invest in my education, and I encourage you to do the same. Number 3, my morning routine. A big change I made in 2019 was establishing and actually sticking to a solid morning routine before I begin my workday. I actually shared my 5 a.m. morning routine with you all several months ago here on this channel, so I'll link that video down below. I had set office hours for quite a while, and I always appreciated the structure and the consistency it allowed me. But I noticed that while my work days were very structured, my mornings could be pretty haphazard, and that wasn't setting me up for success. So this last year, I decided to do something about it. I sat down with my notebook and a pen, and I wrote down everything I wanted to accomplish before my workday began. Then I figured out how much time it would take. And for me, it meant waking up at 5 a.m. Now, while I am not a morning person at all, I decided to just go for it, and it has made such a difference for my business and my overall happiness. So if you haven't already, be sure to check out that video and then figure out your own morning routine. Number 4, passive income. I have had passive income on my to-do list for years, but I never really followed through because I always felt like my client projects were so much more important. For those of you who don't know, passive income is where you invest your time up front in creating something of value, like a downloadable product or an online course. And then once created, you make money by selling it. I know this can be really hard for a lot of creatives, and it was for me because we're used to working with clients one-on-one. We're usually paid up front for our services, and then we provide those services. For me personally, it was hard to find the time to invest in creating passive income because I was so busy with paid client work. But this last year, I finally made a commitment to myself to work on some passive income. And I started small. I created an online store on my website, which still only has one product in it. It's my client onboarding email template. And I created my first online course, Brilliant Social Brand. And honestly, I cannot wait to create more passive income. Now that I've had my own small taste of passive income, I am hooked. I can't tell you how thrilling it is to wake up to an email that says, you made X amount of dollars. Literally making money while you sleep. It's amazing. And I plan on creating a lot more. I'll be expanding my shop this year, and I'll also be relaunching my social media course. Speaking of, make sure you get on my email list to be the first to hear when Brilliant Social Brand reopens for enrollment. You'll also get a fabulous free social media guidebook to work on while you wait. The link is down below. Number 5, raised my prices. As I mentioned, I had always been so busy with client work that I never had time to work on other projects in my business, like passive income. So at the beginning of 2019, I raised my rates for brand design, website design, and brand photography services. And was I less busy? Yes. I had priced myself over a lot of people's budgets, but I still made more money than I did the previous year and continue to book bigger and bigger client projects. It really became a quality over quantity thing. I was able to do so much more for fewer clients and also work on other projects. Now, I know raising your rates is scary, but I truly believe that you need to be charging what you're worth. And with the right branding and the right marketing, the right clients are going to find you and they're going to pay what you're worth. Number 6, saying no. I believe that in order to say yes to the business you want, you're gonna have to say no to a lot more. And I really embraced this concept in 2019. Raising my rates was just one way that I said no. I was saying no to busy and to burnout by taking less clients at a higher price point. I also was saying no to clients who didn't value me or my work because they weren't willing to pay my rates. It's that simple. I also said no to projects that didn't fit my brand, to promotional opportunities that came my way, but were off brand, to travel for work because I don't want to be away from my family anymore, and to a 5-day work week. I take Wednesdays off to be with my kiddo, and I said no to a lot more. Now I am all about the no. If it doesn't fit with my business or my life, it's a no. Number 7, YouTube. I've mentioned before that when I started this YouTube channel last year, I really hated it. I hated talking on camera. I would literally get sick to my stomach before every video shoot. So why did I do it? Because I knew that I needed a platform to share my branding and business expertise and grow my audience. And I felt like video was the way to go. Not because it was easy, because it was hard. And I knew that I would become a better entrepreneur in the process. Since starting my channel last year, I have seen my brand grow in new and exciting ways. I was invited to my first podcast interview by the lovely Jen Obermeyer of Pro Organizer Studio, and I've linked that episode down below so you can go check it out, as well as numerous invitations to speaking engagements and teaching opportunities. But more than that, I have seen my confidence grow, which I really think is the most important thing. I won't say that I never get nervous in front of the camera anymore, but I rarely feel like I'm gonna throw up these days. In fact, I actually look forward to these video shoots. I feel much more confident speaking on video, and I don't really worry about making everything perfect anymore. And that's really crossed over into other areas of my business as well as my life. So that was a peek into the best things I did for my small business in 2019. What did you think? Did anything on that list surprise you? Now, I would love to hear from you. Let me know in a comment down below. What is one game changer idea you implemented in your business last year, or you're implementing in your business this year? I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes look at my small business. And if you want to see more, check out that video that just popped up where I share the 5 things I'm doing differently in my small business in 2020. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and I will see you in the next video.